Welcome to Third Phase UFO Report. I'm Rich Giordano from GUFON, and this is the report for today. Well, a little history lesson never hurts, right? So what I want to do is take you down the digital highway to the past, back to 1952. And I want you to see that this threat that we've been hearing for the last forever, a long time now, that it's nothing new. And that it is a script, and that I'm going to show you that this was just old news, and we've done this before. Plus, I have a lot of sightings to show. Well, 3 very cool sightings. So let's get started, okay?
The Air Force interest in this problem has been due to our feeling of an obligation to identify and analyze to the best of our ability anything in the air that may have the possibility of threat or menace to the United States.
From a national security perspective, identify those things that we see, whether we see them electro-optically, we see them with radar, we see them as eyewitness reports, through a myriad of different ways and avenues that we receive the information, and try to ascertain and determine if that information is a potential threat to national security, in a nutshell.
The Air Force interest in this problem has been due to our feeling of an obligation to identify and analyze to the best of our ability anything in the air that may have the possibility of threat or menace to the United States.
From a national security perspective, identify those things that we see, whether we see them electro-optically, we see them with radar, we see them as eyewitness reports, through a myriad of different ways and avenues that we receive the information, and try to ascertain and determine if that information is a potential threat to national security, in a nutshell.
Well, that has to be answered, absolutely. I mean, we are under siege. It's like there's a war of nerves going on, and if this was drones belonging to a foreign adversary, there would be an absolute outcry. And yet, the situation we're in, that we don't know what these things are, and they might even be extraterrestrial, that's worse. So I agree with Luis Elizondo on this. This is a potential catastrophic failure of intelligence. And if it happened because skeptical bureaucrats were just saying to themselves, it can't be, therefore it isn't, then there must be a reckoning.
All right, we're looking at this again, and it's still, as of today, has me scratching my head. What the heck is this? What are we looking at? It's not a helicopter, definitely. What is lit up like this in the skies? Some people might say it's a blimp. It's moving very slowly, but look at all the lights that's going on with this thing. It doesn't look conventional, other than it's got a bunch of lights on it, but it doesn't seem like it's anything that you would see in the sky as a commercial craft. hits behind the roof, and then the camera shuts off, or he stopped the video, and we're looking at it now again. And there's some interesting attributes about just looking at this, because whatever it is, it's in the sky, in my opinion. Everything seems to match up perfectly. The lights, the glimmer, the eyewitness testimony, they said, is very silent. You could see the lights reflecting on the water.
Yeah, what's strange about it is, look at it. It's flashing. It seems to have FAA lights on it. That's a weird part, because if this is part of some sort of aircraft with FAA lights on it, what's it trying to be in this airspace recognize to anybody on ground control? That's so weird. And this does not look like any kind of aircraft I've ever seen. Does it look like it to you guys in the chat? Does this look strangely weird? Look at the reflection on the water again. That's amazing. And look how massive it is. If you could just recognize the distance and the focal length of the camera, I would say this thing's probably about a quarter mile away from the cameraman itself. So if that makes sense, that this thing's massive, probably about 200 to 300 feet. That's my estimation, Blake. What's your opinion?
Well, I'm looking at it, and definitely you can see the reflection beaming down on the water from these lights. And to state that what you're thinking, I would have to agree. It looks to be a quarter of a mile away, and if this is out there reflecting over the water there, and you can see it, it gives size and scale. 150 feet to 200 feet at the most, but it's massive. Again, could it be a mocked up blimp or anything like that to just like do a fast one? Maybe create some kind of hoax. I'm not exactly sure. It's definitely not a drone, because it's too big to be a drone. The only thing I could imagine is that it could be an airship, a blimp. But then again, I have not seen anything in this kind of comparison of these bright red lights on a blimp, an airship. This is very bizarre. But why would it be so lit up, Brett? That's kind of weird if you ask me too. Look at these lights. They're very... We're going to get a closer look and pull this up. Let's bring in the video, enhance this a little bit, get a close-up look at this object. Yeah, we can see some lights blinking within it, on and off, but then the others are very static in its nature. There's fluctuation going on. Again, it's very, very bizarre. We're not seeing any kind of a gondola underneath, a cabin. It's so weird.
Yeah, no fuselage. This thing, there's no cabin of anything. This thing looks like a disc, a flying saucer. It's an amazing capture. I'm really digging this. Have you guys seen this one? Because this one I haven't seen in a while, and again, I'm blown away by what we're looking at here. Thanks for the heads up, guys.
So when I look at this, I have to go through my mental data bank and think, have I ever seen anything like this before? Yeah, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the movie. So, what is it? Got to run through everything, and the guys were saying it looks like it may have FAA lights on it. I'm not sure that's an airplane. Is it a blimp? Is it a drone? Is it an advertising thing that can float or fly? You can see that it looks like it's about a quarter of a mile away. That seems pretty accurate in my opinion. The object does look like it's pretty big, couple 100 feet. Pretty big. It's got all these lights on it. Maybe, and I just had this come to me, maybe this plane has lights on it that were put there purposely, maybe for advertising, or maybe just because they wanted to and make it look different. Could this be something maybe for a parade that would be happening the next day and they're just flying it in so nobody sees it? You can see the reflection on the water. You definitely can. It's not small. But I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this other than advertising planes or blimps. If this is an advertising blimp, well, it looks upside down. It's pretty cool. And this sighting came out, I think it was just 5-6 months ago. They did the report on it. See, at this angle, it almost looks like an airplane has Christmas lights on it. Like they covered it with a bunch of lights. And I'm not sure they can do that, but you do see what looks like FAA lights on it. So I'm a little torn between unknown, a blimp, or an airplane. I don't know. I'm going to sit here and think about it for a second. What do you think? Do you think this is just a regular airplane? It looks to be going slow. Too slow for an airplane to just hover at that speed. It just doesn't seem right. Not hover, but move at that speed. It would almost be hovering. It looks like it's going very slow. But I do see flashing lights. UFOs have flashing lights. We hear about it all the time. Well, maybe it's people misidentifying an airplane in the distance, but this is close. This is not that far away. I'm not sure if we figured out what this was. I don't remember getting a follow-up report or anybody following up or getting anything explaining what this was the next day or two, because usually that's what we do. Third Phase of Moon likes to post things that come in from the public that we're not quite sure what it is, and then maybe somebody in that area knows of an event or something that was in that area, or maybe they saw it as well and they have other video and they can explain it. Look at this. Never seen anything like it. They look red, amber, a little bit of white in there, yellow. There's the flashing light though. I don't know. You guys have to let me know. Put your thought in the chat room during this live premiere, because it's weird and I don't know what it is. It's just doesn't seem like an advertising banner or logo. It's very strange. It's good stuff. All right, let's go down the digital highway as the sun comes up. What do we got next, guys?
So first off, I want to thank the Hidden Underbelly 2.0. He's got an incredible YouTube channel, and he's getting the information for us from around the world. And he's got permission from the person who shot this that we could share it right here with you guys. So this is coming in from the eyewitness. He said he was coming in from Magadan, Russia, and it was earlier this month. Hidden Underbelly asked him if he is by any volcanoes in the area. His response was there was definitely no volcanoes in the near area. He said there was a pulsating glow at the very edge of the upper layer of the clouds. He also stated that this orb was over the cloud layer. He says that the plane's altitude was approximately at 20,000 feet, and he could see the cloud layer below him, but this shiny, bright, reddish orb caught his eye. He began to film this, and he captured it for approximately 3 minutes. So this is incredible footage. If this isn't a volcano, and from the eyewitness's statement that this is indeed an orb that was floating above the cloud layer, what the heck is it?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, Johnny. What is it? This is really cool. I like this sighting a lot. That's not water, okay? That's above the cloud line at about 20,000 feet. And this passenger saw this out the window. You heard Blake and Brent talking about, well, maybe it's a volcano. They asked the guy, is it a volcano? He said, no volcano. You don't see any plume of smoke. I know when I showed this on GUFON, people were saying, oh, it's a flare, but there's no smoke, and it's just sitting there. And I would have to say that's probably 20, 30 feet. It looks like an orb, exactly like the person said. It was just sitting there. Why? Why are you so easy to dismiss this? Because it's too good to be true? People have been reporting UFOs for thousands of years, especially last couple hundred. We know the last 70 years. We get all the reports here on Third Phase UFO Report from Third Phase of Moon. So we know where all these sightings are being sent. We know that people are sending them to us, to Blake and Brent. The public is aware. And they're getting it on video. This is exceptional. I don't know what it could be. It's pretty good though. Can't think of anything. Drone? I don't know. Let's get to this next one. I really, really like this next one. This has a lot of things going on, so check this out. Let me know what you think.
Of what looks to be a massive ship in the sky. Some people might say it's Starlink, but usually Starlink are individual lights. These are all in unison. You see one tag along behind it, which is kind of interesting, but this footage also shows all kinds of UFOs swarming around this crazy, what people are dubbing the mothership. Could it be Secret Space Force? Is it an asset within our own government, or some, dare I say, private corporation within the U.S. borders playing around up there? Hey, if you were James Bond and you had the technology and you were above top secret, why not? So there are things in our skies that are above top secret and the public's capturing it. There is proof that there is a meta propulsion out there that we can't explain. We need this energy given to us, the public. These objects are seen around the world. There's something going on. So we're having our eyes on the skies, and I urge you to do the same.
All right. So I really enjoy this one, but in a way, I get a little scared because I'm wondering if this is a balloon with LED lights in it. No, it isn't. I know. I wanted to say it because I have to throw it out there. There's a light trailing this oblong, this cigar-shaped light craft, if you want to call it that for lack of a better term. But you see right here other objects moving around. I don't know if that's an Iridium Flare satellite. I'd like to get the date and time that thing showed up. But you have to admit, this could be Secret Space Force technology. They could be I don't know, man. Is that a mothership? I don't know. Is it an advertising balloon at night and we just can't read it because it's so bright? And then you see this object trailing it, another object which could be a satellite crossing behind it. I told you, this is unbelievable stuff right here in the open. Look at all the times people caught it. Pretty amazing. Anyway, check this out. I'll be back with something else.
I think it's terrifying. I mean, this seems potentially like one of the biggest stories of my lifetime. And I don't care if it's about UFOs or whatever you call it. Something that we don't understand is getting very close to our military aircraft.
The technologies related to energy generation should come out first.
This hybrid aerospace underwater craft is able to basically generate an electromagnetic field.
It is President Trump's belief that the United States must remain as dominant in space as we are on land and sea and the air. And your charge is to see to that mission with the United States Space Force.
There were 3 people on my team assassinated, and I was almost killed.
With a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
It's a matter of national security.
But apparently, just recovered are off-world vehicles not made on this Earth.
The president will respond to the subject the way they want them to. There's a black box with all the technologies that would give us a civilization that's sustainable, peaceful, etc., and that's been around for decades.
Everybody's asking the biggest question in the world. Are we alone?
Look, it's just stalled out there.
The narrative that's being launched, which is a false narrative, is that we're not alone and that those civilizations are a threat. The problem is that the public has to be informed and involved.
It could be a brief statement saying, hallelujah, I'm finally vindicated.
I'm not completely convinced they're gonna let this stay like it is.
But the people who are surrounding that level of our politicians and government are not told. Like the movie Independence Day, where Will say, let's go kick alien butt.
And that about wraps it up for Third Phase UFO Report. Great episode, I told you. It was a good one. You can find me on GUFON 6 nights a week, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific live. Thank you very much to Third Phase of Moon for the archives and doing what you do, getting the truth out. And I want to say thank you for traveling down the digital highway with me. You're going to get sick of me saying that? All right, we'll close it out. And I want to thank everybody for hanging out on Third Phase UFO Report. I'm Rich Giordano. If you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. Take care, everybody.
How low can you go? Death row? What a brother know. Once again, back is the incredible rhyme animal, the uncannibal D. Public enemy number